The Hoekse Lijn is a railway line connecting Schiedam to the port and the beach of Hoek van Holland. Since its opening in 1893, it has been exploited by the Dutch railway company NS for over a century. Due to its proximity to Rotterdam, the idea of connecting it to the existing metro network has always floated around. In 2017, work actually started on the conversion, and for 2 years no service ran on the line. On the 30th of September 2019, the first metro service started running. Let's take a look at the line in this video and take a trip along all the stations. The line is 24 kilometers long and connects the intercity station of Schiedam Centrum to the station at Hoek van Holland Strand, right next to the beach. The station at the beach is not yet finished and is planned to be opened in 2022. The new beach station will also be closer to the beach than the previous heavy rail station. For now, the service terminates at Hoek van Holland Haven. The only metro line running on the route currently is Line B. Originating at Nesselande in the northeast of Rotterdam, the line takes a route along multiple big stations like Rotterdam Alexander, Blaak, Beurs, and Schiedam Centrum. A lot of commuters use the trunk route running east to west, where Line B shares the track with lines A and C between Kapelse Brug and Schiedam Centrum. Interchanges to all other lines can be made at Beurs Station in the heart of Rotterdam. After a stop at the former terminus of the line at Schiedam Centrum, the line continues onto the tracks towards Hoek van Holland. The stations in order are Schiedam Newlands, Vlaardingen Oost, Vlaardingen Centrum, Vlaardingen West, Maassluis Centrum, Maassluis West, Steendijk Polder, Hoek van Holland Haven, and the future station Hoek van Holland Strand. All stations, except for Steendijk Polder, were also former stations on the line when it was operated by NS. A trip from Schiedam to Hoek van Holland Haven will take you 23 minutes. Services currently run every 10 minutes between Nesselande and Steendijk Polder, of which half will continue onwards to Hoek van Holland Haven, creating a 20-minute frequency between Rotterdam and Hoek van Holland. The line is currently in a trial period for a month. When this period is over, service times will alter and Line A will also run on the line during rush hour from its terminus at Binnenhof to Vlaardingen West. Despite its branding as metro, being part of the Rotterdam Metro and services running with rolling stock also used to service the rest of the metro network, the service should rather be categorized as a light rail line. There are numerous level crossings and the frequencies are low for a metro line. Let's start our journey at the point where the line connects to the rest of the network, Schiedam Centrum. Schiedam Centrum is an interchange station, meaning that you can change to multiple other modes of transport here. Right next to the metro is the main NS rail corridor, connecting The Hague and Rotterdam. As it used to be the main route between the capital, Amsterdam, and Rotterdam, this is a very busy route, with 20 trains passing every hour, of which all but 4 stop. Trams and buses also make stops here. Schiedam Centrum is also the station where Line C towards Spijkenisse branches off, and it is the current terminus of Line A before it gets extended to Vlaardingen West. It is the first station on the west side of the downtown core to be above ground. This makes for some lovely views of metro cars high above everything cruising along the rails. Schiedam Centrum was also start of the former heavy rail line towards Hoek van Holland, and all trains used to stop here. Taking a wide turn to the left, our next station is Schiedam Newlands. This station is situated above a road called Nieuwe Damlaan. The platforms are on either sides with a footbridge connecting the two. You can also exit the station on one side and walk to the other via the road underneath. Lifts are installed at both platforms, which is a trend along the entire line with all stations fully accessible. The station has gate lines with the ubiquitous Dutch-style gates also used by NS and GVB. Full station signage, including a dot matrix display, is also present. A yellow tint is visible in the entire station and pretty much the entire line. Underneath the station, a tram line also runs, with lines 21 and 24 stopping around 150 meters away from the entrance. Some bus lanes also run just north of the station, and of course, a bicycle parking facility has also been provided. The station is right next to the Franciscus Vlietland Hospital. A police station and multiple schools are also centered around the station. Next along the line, and about 2 kilometers to the southwest, is Vlaardingen Oost. Also being an elevated station, this station is very similar to the previous one, except for having an island platform instead of side platforms. A single lift is therefore necessary, and there is only one entrance. The gate line is also within this entrance. This entrance is a hall with yellow-cladded walls. Bus connections are available outside, with the station officially classified as an interchange station. You might have noticed the weird double tracks on the city-bound platforms. These double rails only occur at the stations Schiedam Newlands and Vlaardingen Oost. They are there because this part of the line is actually still used by heavy rail freight trains running very infrequently between the port of Vlaardingen and the rest of the Dutch rail network. As these freight trains are wider than the metro rolling stock, the rails have to be moved slightly away from the platforms as to allow the trains to pass without hitting the station. This small section of track is also the only section of track with visible signals, as all the other parts of the line have ETCS installed.
Station Vlaardingen Centrum. Let op, links uitstappen. U kunt hier overstappen op de bus. Exit on the left. Change here for the bus. Station Vlaardingen Centrum.
Vlaardingen Centrum is the next station, and the last part of the name already suggests the location. Centrum being the Dutch word for city centre. This station has a lovely quaint vibrance with the old steel canopy still in use. Just a short walk away from the station is the lovely historic canal and harbour of Vlaardingen, with tons of ships docked right here. The end of the marina is closed off partly by a rail bridge. This rail bridge used to not have a catenary, but as the metro trains cannot run without electricity, in contrast to the old mainline trains, a catenary was installed. Here our first level crossing is also present. Car parking is available, and a couple of bus connections can be made just outside the station. This lovely old lamppost has also been preserved. The station has a very wide island platform with some greenery in the middle, a recurring theme on the line. Next up is the aptly named Vlaardingen West. You might begin to see a theme in the naming here, it's not very creative. Set in a typical Dutch post-war suburb, this station is mainly for people living here. Not much is going on around in the station. Some buses do stop here, and there is some industry to the south. This station has 3 tracks and 3 platforms, as it will be a terminus for the A-line trains when they start running in November. The middle platform was not in use when I visited, which was clearly visible by the difference in wear and tear on the tracks. After a short ride through some fields, where you could clearly see the new A24 motorway being built, connecting the north and the south banks of the Maas by means of a new tunnel, we arrive at the next station, Maassluis Centrum. The station is a 3-minute walk away from the city centre of Maassluis, which looks quite similar to the one in Vlaardingen. Another rail bridge spans the canal, with the Maassluis harbour on one side and the Maas on the other. There is a ferry connection to the south bank, only a 10-minute walk away from the station. a connection which is also mentioned during the announcements. Several buses connect up here, and another level crossing is present as well. You can only exit the station to the north. To the south of the station is a bus depot. The last station with cardinal directions in its name is Maassluis West. This station probably offers the least interesting surroundings along the line, but still has some action going on. Of course, a bicycle storage facility is available, filled up quite nicely as you can see. Buses also run here between Maassluis and Hoek van Holland, but with more intermediate stops than the metro. The station has 2 island platforms, and as the entrance is only on one side, we get a good look at how the train driver knows where to stop. These signs with numbers on them indicate where a train of a certain length is supposed to stop. Standing on top of the embankment just south of the station gives you a great view of the line towards Steendijk-Polder, the next station. There are no shops in the immediate vicinity of the station, and most of the houses are apartments. There is, however, a big mall to the northeast, as well as a city hall for Maassluis. To the south is also a big children's play park. For half of the trains on the line, Steendijk-Polder is the Terminus Station. This station is also the only station to have been built completely new. Situated in a relatively new neighbourhood, the only surroundings are, once again, houses. This station looks a lot like Vlaardingen West, as it also has 3 tracks and platforms. Here, all platforms are being used at the moment. Only a single entrance and exit exists, and it is the only station on the entire line not to have a connection to the bus. A small car park is available. Here it is also very noticeable that the artwork has gotten ever so slightly more orange the further along the line you go. The metro is fully accessible at every station, and all metro cars have certain wheelchair accessible compartments. There is also room for a few bikes in each metro car, but only outside of the rush hours. The well-known blue sign visible at every Dutch level crossing can also clearly be seen here. It reads, "Wait for the red lights to switch off, a train could still be coming." The ride towards our last station, Hoek van Holland Haven, is also the longest. At 6 minutes long, you can enjoy the lovely scenery as well as see the huge Maaslandkering, one of the largest movable structures in the entire world, keeping the city of Rotterdam safe from floodwaters. After this lovely ride, we arrive at the train station. The station is located right beside the huge ferry terminal owned by Stena Line. They operate 2 ships each, making 2 trips per day between Hoek van Holland and the port of Harwich, near London. Aside from the many lorries using this connection, a lot of tourists also take the ferry across. The metro line now gives them a straight connection to Rotterdam. The station is not completely finished, and only has 1 working platform, as the other one is yet to be put in service when the extension opens. Barbed wire surrounds a lot of the station to discourage people from climbing over the fences to get to the boat. Seeing signs of "Welcome to the Netherlands" and "Keep Right" is strange at first. You can also see what will be the tracks towards the new terminus at the beach. Hoek van Holland Haven is the only station not to have ticket barriers, and instead just has a couple of readers. There is a Japanese restaurant inside the station. Walking just a couple minutes gets you to the port, where you can see some cool cannons and a lighthouse. The place currently looks like a construction zone, as it is, but I bet it will look great in the future. In its first week of operation, the new line carried on average 24,000 passengers per day, up 50% from when it was operated by NS. The line has not had any major hiccups, looks clean, and runs smoothly as far as I've experienced. I recommend any of you able to get here fast and cheaply to take a look and experience this ride for yourselves, especially when the new extension opens and you can combine it with a day out to the beach. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this short documentary about the metro running on the Hoekse Lijn. If you would like more public transit content like maps, videos and blogs, please head out to my website at www.worldcitytransit.com.